What it do, man? It's your boy K Smooth, man. Let's get into it, man, with another boxing video. Hey, man, Teofimo versus Shakur Stevenson, January 31st, 2026. Hey, right in New York, man. Hey, y'all already know, man, how I feel about this fight, man. Teofimo, WBO, he gonna be putting up that junior welterweight championship at 140. Y'all already know how I think about this fight, man. And to me, man, Shakur, he got to be really careful, you know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like Shakur, he supposed to be at 135, you know what I'm saying, being able to take care of business, man. You got Abdullah that got a belt down. You got Schofield that's over there. You got Javante Tank. I don't think Shakur is trying to, chase greatness as being a unified, undisputed champion at 135-pound division. This fight with Teofimo at, 140-pound division is real risky. I'd say it's very risky, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Shakur, he going to have to show me something, you know what I'm saying, what he's really made of. Being able to bring that, the physical and being able to be, dominant, you know what I'm saying, against Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be really physical, you know what I'm saying, in the inside game, not just alone, bringing skills and using the jab and, containing Teofimo. Because I already know Teofimo, he done been through these bloody wars. He done been through, you know what I'm saying, these hard fights and, being real dominant, you know what I'm saying, in these blood wars. Teofimo, you know what I'm saying, as a true champion. Call it what you want, but I see it different, man. If Shakur don't show me nothing in this fight, coming up, then it's going to be, a short night, you know what I'm saying? I'd say, one thing about Shakur, man, he very, experienced, having the defense, having the IQ, having great skills. But it doesn't take the, the fact, away from Teofimo as, him having the same abilities, skills, you know what I'm saying, being sharp, you know what I'm saying, having being able to box, you know what I'm saying, patience, being able to have good combinations, and I say it's a different type of ball game with Shakur, man. He gonna have a good game plan, coming into, being able to have a good fight camp, being able to work on power skills and, being more physical. That's what he gonna have to bring towards Teofimo, man. It's levels to the shit, you know what I'm saying? I know Shakur, he trying to change and make a statement and, be welcome to, 140 from, Teofimo, but, man, you better hope you go in there and beat, Teofimo. If you're not, we gonna see Teofimo continue to call out, Terrence Bud Crawford. Teofimo gonna be able to say, hey, I beat your boy. Now what's up? You know what I'm saying? I beat your fucking boy, who y'all thought was so good, Shakur Stevenson. Now what's up, Terrence Bud Crawford? Mark my words. One thing I can say about Shakur, man. Yeah, sometimes skills can pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? But we talking with, a fighter like Teofimo that's all around. He got the same type of skills and, he's a great champion. You got to understand, when you talk about the boxing record and, the experience, he got way more, better experience than, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson can't wait all night and fight off the back leg, you know what I'm saying? Or he gonna get caught. Trying to, do that pure boxing and shit. Against Teofimo, you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I can say, yeah, Shakur, he's good. He an expert, like I said, when you talk about defense, like a defensive wizard, he's an expert being able to fight off the back foot and, being able to box, you know what I'm saying? He's one of those boxers, Shakur, or any, boxer, that's so skillful to where you got to cut him off in the ring. So Teofimo got to worry about cutting, Shakur off in the ring and making it a physical fight. Skill-wise, definitely I got Shakur all day. But when it comes to being physical and, they both going to match up with the IQ, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be somewhat type of even, who wants it more. Either, Teofimo can pressure, you know, Shakur to where, you know, he can't handle, you know what I'm saying, Teofimo coming in the inside. Not alone being able to use the jab and fighting, you know what I'm saying, you know, being able to land with power punching. Because Theo, he throw a lot of straights. He's going to land some shit on Shakur. The only thing I'd say about Shakur, you got to be, you know, yeah, you know, to win this fight and be able to have a good game plan, you're going to have to box. It's going to be up to Teofimo to cut off the, you know, the ring. You know what I'm saying? To be able to allow what you want to be able to do to Teofimo. You're going to be able to, you know, use the jab, you know, get inside out, you know, use that, you know, punching, you know. However, whatever type of game plan Shakur going to have, you know what I'm saying, we'll see if it matches up to, you know, Teofimo. You know, Shakur going to have to show me something, man, to be able to go in there and take that WBO junior welterweight title. You know, I like I said, man, my opinion is, you know, different from most, you know. I figured, you know, Shakur, man, he could be at 135, man. You know, Abdullah got a belt now. You know what I'm saying? Shakur moved up just not to be able to fight Abdullah or Schofield. Not alone, Tank is still at 135. You know what I'm saying? BoxingTalk 100, Shakur, man, you better go and make history. If you don't beat Teofimo, you know Teofimo gonna clown the shit out your ass at a 140-pound division, and you gonna be suffering your first loss at a 140-pound division. You might have to go back down to 135, Shakur. And we'll finally be able to see that you can't run from Abdullah, Tank, or, you know, Schofield. They've been wanting to fight, you know, Shakur for a long time. And not alone, you know, Keyshawn, you know, to keep it real. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Keyshawn, but he gonna have to fight too. Truth be told, that should have been the fight right there, you know what I'm saying, instead of, you know, Shakur. It should have been Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying, being able to fight at 140, if anything. Shakur should have stayed his motherfucking ass at 135. And, I mean, it's just my opinion, you know, Davis, you know, Keyshawn probably should have stayed at 135 too. They all should have been at 135 and not fucking with, you know, Teofimo. Let Teofimo, he should have been trying to, you know, get these, you know what I'm saying, these fights, you know, these title fights with Gary Antoine Russell. You know who else is at 140? Devin got excuse me, Gary Antoine Russell. Whoever is at 140, Teofimo got a belt. You know, you're going to have, you know, other fighters, you know what I'm saying, that's also at 140, whoever, you know, that's at that class. This what Teofimo should have been trying to unify. Oh, Richardson Hitchens at 140-pound division. That should have been Battle of New York, you know what I'm saying, Teofimo and Richardson Hitchens at 140-pound division. You know, unification matchup, whether it's with Teofimo or, you know, fighting, you know, the other belt holder, you know what I'm saying, you got Richardson Hitchens, you got, and then you got, whoever else got the fucking belt. But come on, man. Gary Antoine Russell, Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens at 140. You know what I'm saying? That all got the belts. You know what I'm saying? That should have been trying to unify. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who else got the belt over there. But they should have been trying to unify these belts, you know what I'm saying, at 140-pound division. You know what I'm saying? Teo is off track trying to, you know, welcome, you know, Shakur. It's risky because you can lose your belt, Teofimo. And then what? Then you know you can't chase Terrence Bud Crawford. So it's going to be up to Shakur as well. Running from 135 and making a statement at 140, making history. Then you're in the division. And you still can't run because if you take that belt from, you know, Teofimo, then you got Richardson Hitchens, you got motherfucking Gary Antoine Russell. Them fighters that you cannot run from. You know what I'm saying? Shakur. BoxingTalk 100. So that's just what it is, man. With, you know, Shakur Stevenson and how I feel, you know what I'm saying? It's risky, you know, being able to fight, you know, Teofimo, but, you know, we'll see what happens. I believe Teofimo gonna clip Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Shakur got to fight phenomenal. It's got to be a excellent, phenomenal boxing match that you got to put on towards Teofimo. And if you can't do that, Shakur, the power ain't gonna be nothing to Teofimo. It's gonna be a long night for you, Shakur, and Teofimo gonna whoop that ass. And eventually, I think it's gonna be a TKO stoppage or something gonna happen to where the fight it ends. You know what I'm saying? And goes into Teofimo's way. That's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? My fight prediction for January 31st. Yeah, man. Shakur, don't get me wrong, that motherfucker can fight, man, but there's levels to this shit. When you talk about championship, you know, fighting, you know, we don't see Teofimo, you know, make history. And yeah, we don't see Shakur make history too, but when you talk about, you know, being almost, you know, undisputed, having belts, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, Teofimo having a great start, you know, at 135 and then going to 140, hey, that's a good start, you know what I'm saying, being in positioning, you know what I'm saying, you know, having that better resume, you know what I'm saying, than Shakur, you know, Teofimo. So Teofimo ain't no easy slouch, man, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people gonna say it's bias or whatever, I'm racist, but Teofimo damn near fight like a nigga. He got that native in him, so he might as well be of one, you know what I'm saying, whether y'all want to call it or not. The motherfucker is from, word Teofimo, he from, is it Ecuador or some shit like that? Because they still from the lands, however you want to think about it, them motherfuckers are still from the land, you know what I'm saying? They got their own kingdom of people, you know what I'm saying, who he, you know, represent, you know, Teofimo. So, call it what you want. Teofimo is a great, you know what I'm saying, champion from New York, you know what I'm saying, from Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying. He got great boxing skills. You know, he's only getting better as, you know, having that belt, you know, that WBO title belt at 140. So it's picking and choosing. Get Shakur out the way, send his ass back down to 135, or Shakur, he's the new man, you know what I'm saying, at 140. It's either or, you know what I'm saying. Y'all comment at the bottom and let me know who y'all think gonna win that fight out of Shakur and Teofimo. It's gonna be a good damn chess match, I'll tell you that. January 31st, the fight will be taking place in New York, you know what I'm saying, on Teofimo's, you know, grounds, pretty much. So, you know, the takeover is in the building, man, against, you know, Sugar Shakur, you know, whatever you want to call him. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's in, you know, Teofimo's court. You know what I'm saying? The ball is in his court. Let's see what Shakur is capable of, you know what I'm saying, doing. You know, congratulations to Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it once again, you know what I'm saying? Devin Haney becoming, you know what I'm saying, you know, WBO champion at 147-pound division. You know, you in there for, you know, for undisputed, you know what I'm saying, a title run. You'll be able to, you know, unify, you know. Hopefully we get the fight with Rolly Romero, you know what I'm saying? That only makes sense to be able to unify two belts, you know what I'm saying? You know, why not? You know what I'm saying? I think Rolly got the WBA, Devin has the WBO, so, you know, why not, you know, make that fight happen now? You know, Devin just fought Brian and got past Brian. Eventually, you know, these fights are going to have to come up with, you know, making these unification matches at 147. So why not, you know, Rolly, you know what I'm saying, you know, think about this fight and actually, you know, agree upon this fight. Devin Haney versus Rolly. You know, that fight can be made. It has no choice but to be made, you know what I'm saying? And of course, Mario Barrios is, you know, WBC champion at 147-pound division, getting ready to take on Ron Garcia. Ron Garcia got a chance to make history, you know, grab the belt at 147, and, you know, we could, you know, have, you know, that showdown between Devin. Of course, Devin to be having his belt. The winner between Mario Barrios and, you know, Ron Garcia, that's going to be a highly anticipated matchup right there, you know, considering that I got Mario Barrios favorite. You know, Ron, he going to have to be quick. He going to have to shake up, you know, Mario Barrios. You know, Mario Barrios is like a smothering champion, you know, that know how to come forth, you know, like a true Aztec warrior. He gonna come forward to fight. You know, he's gonna use the jabs, he's gonna put combinations together, he's gonna land efficiently, he's gonna land enough to be able to go up on scorecards if he's able to, you know what I'm saying, you know, fight Ron Garcia, you know, making it a skillful, you know, chess matchup. I think Ron Garcia has to get the knockout, you know, against Mario Barrios to make a statement at 147. We ain't got to worry about no dope, you know, no dope or none of this shit, you know, steroids and no use of, you know, anything that's going to be in the way of this matchup at 147-pound championship bout, you know, with Mario Barrios and Ron Garcia. I'm surprised Barrio gave, you know, Ron Garcia, you know, a title defense matchup, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, boxing and, you know, everybody that puts the fights together, Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I'm saying, they do a good job, you know, and put money behind, you know, Ron Garcia being a young, you know, professional, you know, fighter, giving him his weight. I mean, you can't get mad at that, given the opportunity, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you got to be able to do it right. You know, this go time around, Ron Garcia, you got to be able to make it right. You know, no, none of that cheating shit. You know what I'm saying? We on to that shit now, Ron Garcia. You know, you gonna have to make this you know, if Ron fights the way how he fights against Mario Barrios, you know, he could outbox, you know, Mario Barrios in points. You know, he's gonna be much faster than Mario Barrios. I think for the physical, being more physical, Mario Barrios is gonna have that experience, you know, fighting Manny Pacquiao and having a draw, and there's levels to this shit. Like I said, Mario Barrios is a great champion, you know what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure he gonna still want to hang on to that belt. This gonna be a hard type of challenge for, you know, Ron Garcia, considering that I got Mario Barrios favored in this fight against, you know, Ron Garcia. Ron Garcia gonna have to show me something from all that shit and this and that, you know, and man, it could have been so much shit, you know. Rolly, you know, truthfully, man, I'd say Ron don't deserve no title defense matchup. It should have been Rolly against, you know, in Mario Barrios. That they should have been having their, you know, their titles being put up. Or should have been Crocker. I think his name Crocker or something like that. I'm not too sure. The IBF, you know what I'm saying, title holder. I don't know too much about him, but, you know, he's a, you know, they could think about, you know, possibly having a title defense matchup, you know, putting belt on the line, and, you know what I'm saying, Devin Haney can fight Crocker. You know, he don't just have to wait on Ron Garcia and Mario Barrios if it don't plan out accordingly for Ron Garcia to be able to beat Mario Barrios. That he can go a different route, you know. Ron, you're going to have to show what you're all about. If you don't meet them standards, then the Haney's going to have to, you know, move on from you. You know, that's supposed to be a good back, you know, a get-back fight. But if you can't take the belt from Mario Barrios, then it ain't going to do no good for the Haneys to be able to wait on y'all. They chasing legacy, and they want to fight for belts. That's just what we calling it, you know. Making history at 147-pound division, being an undisputed champion. Ron Garcia, if you're not able to meet them standards, then you will not be able to see no fight with Devin Haney. And instead, we're going to get Devin Haney or Rolly, or we're going to get Devin Haney or Mario Barrios. Boxing Talk 100. Devin Haney and Mario Barrios. If Ron Garcia don't meet the standards and he go out there and do what he got to do and put on a phenomenal, you know, boxing, you know, clinic, you know, when it's time to fight against Mario Barrios, and if you don't come ready, Mario Barrios is gonna sweep your ass, you know what I'm saying, under the rug, and it's over with. Hey man, if you are new to my channel, you know, make sure y'all subscribe, you know what I'm saying, make sure you hit that like button, you know what I'm saying, leave a comment for your boy. But yeah, man, boxing, man, that's truthful, man. I'm telling you. If Ron don't come with it, Barrios, you're gonna see a technical, savage. You're gonna see a technical, savage Mario Barrios beat up, you know, Ron Garcia. by points, by landing, breaking Ron Garcia ass down. But if Ron can use the left hook and he can be more skillful and he go out there and do what he got to do, focus on, you know, the game plan and have a good camp and come in, you know, confident and being ready to take Mario Barrios' belt, then we got a new champion, you know what I'm saying, at 147-pound division. The new WBC champion, you know what I'm saying, Ron Garcia. If you can go out there and be disciplined, showing that you can become a true champion, Ron Garcia. And that's what this shit is all about, man. Predictions and opinions, you know what I'm saying? This confidence come from is not from within. We've seen, you know, these fights being made, man. You know, I go back to Eddie Hearn and, you know, Conor Benn. You know, of course that's his man. You know, Eddie Hearn and, you know, Conor Benn. Conor gotta listen to what Eddie Hearn say. You know what I'm saying? But you can believe Eddie Hearn them, they know about Devin Haney. He's so dangerous that all Devin Haney know how to do is box. They want a slugfest to where a motherfucker get punched on and shit. And, you know, that's not boxing. That's not, you know, the boxing teaches you, you know, basic boxing, you know, teaches you, you know, we got to go back to the format to hit and not get hit. But for some reason, you know, they want to see a motherfucker get killed. And it's understandable, you know, we want to be able to see that type of shit, but it's patience for all that shit, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be easy, Eddie Hearn, you know, when you got a skillful boxer like, you know, Devin Haney, you trying to match him up with Conor Benn, a motherfucker that like to get hit on. You know, I just see that fight, you know, if they was trying to make that fight with Devin Haney, man, it's just going to be an all-out no contest for Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? All across the board to be able to beat, you know, Conor Benn. He going to outbox Conor Benn. And eventually, I think, you know, it don't been to where he really don't like Conor Benn, you know what I'm saying? I think he'll stop Conor Benn to a TKO. We'd really see Devin what he'll do, you know what I'm saying, against Conor Benn. Conor Benn will get his motherfucking ass beat, you know, trying to fuck with Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? And I put money on it. Conor Benn is not ready for Devin Haney. All Devin Haney's going to do is outbox, and he's going to make it look easy. By scoring, by putting combinations together, and, you know, Conor Benn trying to look for a lucky punch. You're not that experienced. You're not that highly experienced in Devin Haney. Conor Benn, you're not of that, you know, skillful extreme boxer. That just calls it for what it is. And this is the reason why I edge, you know, Devin Haney over Conor Benn. When it comes to boxing. Not no cheating shit, none of that shit that we can be able to go by, because, you know, we can't go by, you know, what happened at 140 and what Devin Haney not having power and what Brian Normal was supposed to do to him. We can't say nothing about Haney no more. But him developing his power and showcasing it to the people at 147. He got it. Whether y'all want to believe that shit or not. Boxing ain't all about TKOs and, you know, KOs. Sometimes they're about unanimous decisions and split decisions. We just don't want to, you know, be truthful about it, but that's just boxing, how boxing is. 12 rounds of war determine a KO, a TKO, a split decision, or a unanimous decision. You know, that's boxing. Haney is putting on a display. And you might want to fucking stay out of his way to be honest. Stay out of Haney's way, man. Because from here on out, this sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him fight Rolly. Go and take Rolly's belt. And then, you know what I'm saying, whoever, you know what I'm saying, is available, whether it's Ron or Mario Barrios. If not, Haney should go and fight, you know, IBF champion, Croker, or whatever his name is. He English or whatever he is. You got to be English or Britain or whoever the fuck he is. But there's a belt holder over there that they can go take his belt. Boxing Talk 100. Yeah, man. Y'all been knowing, you know that fight, with Shakur and Teofimo. That's gonna be one for the ages. I'm trying to tell y'all, folks. Either Shakur could box an excellent fight with running and off his back foot and landing on Teofimo, efficiently, having a good game plan to where he put, combinations together, being able to, knock off, Teofimo's game plan. If you can't do that, Shakur, it's over. I see TKO stoppers I see Shakur getting clipped for the first time by a New York boy, Teofimo Lopez. I see Shakur getting his chin clipped for the first time, showing that he will have a glass chin against Teofimo Lopez. That's what I see in that fight. Now, I could be wrong. If Shakur box and do the way how he supposed to do, come with an excellent game plan, I could be wrong, but I favor Teofimo on this.
Next start, Steve Sarkisian to settle his quarterback down, get him some quick completions, and get him feeling confident in his arm again.
But he needs to go back, to 160, making history. A 4-divisional champion making history. Waiting out of the fight between Lara and whoever Lara is going to be fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Go to 160. You got some, whoever that's at 160, you can make champion, make history. Or, you know what I'm saying? We focus on, getting your $150 million, rematch with, Canelo. You'll be the man. Everything will be in your favor, bud. Whatever, Canelo had in his favor as the shots being called, all that shit's going to be a turnaround in your favor, Terrence Bud Crawford. The A side over Canelo in this rematch. Whether you fight now if you was a bad motherfucker, Bud, go ahead and create that stadium in Omaha. You well deserving to be able to put a stadium together now. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's one on out there, but man, you better go back home and fight. Vegas is, Canelo's stomping ground. And I mean, Las Vegas, that's definitely a stomping ground. I mean, they could wherever they fight, man. If they fight in Dubai, that'll be something different, But everything definitely gonna be in Bud's favor if that rematch was to occur. And of course, I got Bud, you outbox Canelo again, but Canelo gonna have to be on his A game this time. Not to be able to rush in, getting hit in his motherfucking head. Bud was so patient in that fight against Canelo, it was ridiculous. He just showed different levels of being patient, being able to make you pay, being able to counter punch, a punch, and being able to land on Canelo. There's levels to this shit, That's the reason why, Bud in that position of being, that better fighter. Canelo still got a lot of work to do, man. He's a great legend, But to be able to be great, you got to be able to go in this fight, just not saying, I'm just saying if you wanted to be great, Canelo, to solidify, of course you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, but you ain't beat no Floyd, you ain't beat no Crawford, you probably can't beat, David Benavidez. These type of fighters, Bivol, these type of fights are always going to hunt you. Canelo. Whether you like that shit or not, and to think about it, yeah, these 4 fighters that I just named is going to hunt you for the rest of your career, leading out to you being Hall of Famer. But yeah, man, let me talk about Jake Paul and, Anthony Joshua, and then I'm going to let y'all go for today, man. I mean, Jake Paul, he got my respect, man. Does he have a chance against Joshua? No, I don't think so, man. I think Joshua gonna say exactly what he said, beating his face in, to Jake. I think exactly that's what he gonna do. I think it would have been a better chance if Logan would have fought, you know, Anthony Joshua, big brother, you know, against, you know, Anthony Joshua. That would have been more like. And I know he in wrestling and all that, but that's just my opinion. I rather wanted to see Logan, you know, Paul, the one that fought, you know what I'm saying, Floyd, to be able to fight, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Joshua. And he's way bigger than, you know, Jake, taller than Jake and everything. That would have been like the perfect fight, you know what I'm saying, Logan versus Anthony Joshua instead of a Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. But I don't know that, like I said, that's just my opinion, man. But may the best man win. I got Anthony Joshua, you know, with a TKO, possibly a knockout. If Jake can catch him with a lucky right, then, you know, Jake got a chance. You know, Anthony Joshua, he's shown me that he does have a glass chin, you know what I'm saying? So he's easy to be able to put down, you know what I'm saying? If Jake can come in there and he can swing and be able to throw punches and land, you know what I'm saying? If he can land and, you know what I'm saying, he have that confidence going in, then yeah, I see him having a chance against Anthony Joshua. But yeah, that's just my take on it, man. Man, it's your boy K Smooth, man. Thanks for watching the video, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all having a good, you know what I'm saying, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's today, Friday. I think today is Friday. I hope y'all have an amazing Friday, man. Make sure y'all take it easy, you know what I'm saying? And I hope, you know, Thanksgiving, y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving with y'all family. You know, it's still going to be some leftover food for me to eat. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure I tackle that, and, you know, in a little bit. But, yeah, man, we got December coming up. You know, Thanksgiving just passed. We got, you know, the holidays, December. And then the first of the year, brand new year, man, 2026, man. We got more fights, you know, to be able to come up. And I know 2026 is going to be a fantastic year, you know what I'm saying, for fights to be made and, you know, contracts to be, you know, figured out and all that shit, man. But, man, it's just the excitement of boxing and being a fan of this shit, you know what I'm saying? But, man, this your boy K Smooth, man. Thanks for watching my video. Like I said, man, if you are new, make sure you subscribe to your boy and leave a comment. But, yeah, man, this your boy K Smooth, man. Thanks for watching this video. Peace. Get good at so you can be a little